no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute me, cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she's so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak, and teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring their bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time. This Glock match my handpiece, and I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Should call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk a straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. That's right. Bring that hot flame, new bitch. Hey, loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. You devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. Bring that hot flame, new bitch. Hey, loyal to the king. We about to bombard their whole operation. Certified priests, prophesied this my occupation. This shit outrageous. They done made the truth docile. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. It's UPK style. They stop now. Father's warfare could last one round. Let the oppressed rise and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with this shit. About to make it hot. Call it compound. This for my niggas. Put the guns in the drums down. Dwelling in peace till the Lord call for the blood. Hey, try to decide my death. And got beside yourself. Swore drawn for what you perform. How you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and his dreams. Ain't got no love for the practice. No, just cruel intentions. And in my father's house is speeding mansions. I got plenty bitch for the adventures. This your death sentence. I'm talking about slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. That they do not rise. Go ahead and fill the world with lies and die for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. That's by talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let the endings deal. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. Now they shook from vicious words out this handed book. About to take these rappers back to school. My flow said the hook. They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey jet. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hand down death for the devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause they violence leave a man a stiff corpse. You see a flag in the bench. I see horns in a pitchfork. Go ahead. So please believe it. The white man is a demon. And I ain't gon' vote for them to free me. No. They beat us till we the color purple. That's why this snipe till they broke. I see that. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. We screaming, let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you, man. I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, slaughter. That they do not rise. Go ahead and fill the world with lies and die for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. That's why I'm talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is still. Slaughter, slaughter.
The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me handcuffed. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking back!
Slaughter. That they do not rise and fill the world with lies. They die for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. That's why I'm talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is still. Slaughter. Slaughter. Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up, get back up, get back. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I stand down. Take breath. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem? Tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour plays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit to pray up to the Lord. I told him to let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of my bills. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round. Approaches better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool zone. Go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Get back up. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay dearly. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sin, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret what that means. Fall on his age. Comparing me to you really ain't no card
All right, shalom. All right, shalom. Shalom.
Speak the first.
Shalom. Shalom.
The first on the front.
This one. Shalom. All right, shalom. Shalom. All right, this is the Isupk Sabbath service. Shalom. Give it a hand. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the Isupk Charlotte Kannapolis Sabbath service, man. Once again, this is the Israelite School UPK and the Commander General Hana started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And with that, let's get started. Present yourself.
Baha'is, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yasha'Allah.
Ba'az, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh Bashim Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh Bashim Yasha'Allah. All right. All right, Madium. Go ahead, Bob. Dumb, which means to turn around and face the east. We'll go ahead and start with the Lord's Prayer. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemkah, Yahweh, Malach. Taba'ah, Atazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalat Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kawawath Nawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'a Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Habasha Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La Walamyam, Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Salaki, brother, go ahead and take it over from the
Pray for the power of the Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Baba Kashar,
Thalanawa, Akat, Larapa'ah, Ka Makala, Ka Marawa, Akat, Latahar, Amatazarayim, Akat, Lahakiyam, Amathiam, Akat, Rakawa, Atama'al, Lagawasha, Hashim Yahushua, Wada'ama. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Prayer for the blessed.
Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh. Wa Mayaka'al. Wa Alahaya. Tazabiyah. Alawab Yahweh. Alawab. Nasaranya. Nakwatazayanya. Nakoyoyo. Wahakwathi. Yahweh. Hashim Yahshua. Wada'ama. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Salaki. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commander General Yahweh. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Ayanya, Ahahari, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Izari, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Ashab, Shamayam, Rataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Gab, Ayanawam, Shamar, Ana, La'a, and the Wam, La'a, Yashab, Shamamah, Yasha'ala, How, Mark, How, Zab, Al-Yad, Yamika, Yamamah, Shamash, La'a, Lakaka, Mayarat, Alayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Kalrat, Yashamar, Abnabash, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'at, Wabu Wa'ak, Wayatha, Wa'ayla Walam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon the right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahaya, Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Takara,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Tashaqua,
Al-Tashaqua,
Al-Yahana,
Kayahana,
Al-Yabik,
Al-Yabika, Yahama, Yawam, Ra'ash, Al-Amik, Yawayam, Sawadah, Wayatha, Wa'itazawa, Al-Tazapawanyaka, Amara, Al-Kawa, Wanakaki, Magaya, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Awadah, Kaya, Wa'itazawa, Laba, Kawa, Aliyaka, Maria, Yakarafa, Ahaliya, Wawam, Wayashama, Alayam, Hagari, Kabal, Mwam, Wayamalak, Alashah, Amyashabi, Tazawu, Gamashawu, Nalawam, Imam, Ayawa, Sarawat, Labanyalawa, Salah, Aisha, Raham, Hamadi, Kasayaf, Sarah, Kayab, Barakal, Yashwan, Lashamadu, Bahayan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shathama, Nadab, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazaba, Kasabak, Katazal, Mana'ai, Kal Nasayakamu, Shaw, Amar, Rashad, Lanawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Shayathamu, Kadagala, Wash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'a, Bayari, Kalahaba, Alaha, Oriam, Khan, Rodapa, Wasaira, Wabasa, Papa, Tabahalam, Allah, on your home, Walawan, Waya, Wash, Shamka, Yahweh, Bash, Waya, How, Ayai, Waya, Paul, Aya, Bad, Waya, Tayawa, Kayahata, Shukka, Yahweh, Yabaka, Ayawan, Akaratasa. In English, keep not thou silent, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah may be no more remembrance. For they had consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished in Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Ze'ed. Yea, all their princes, as Sabbath, and as Almuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth.
La Yasha.
La Yashala.
Just up here, get sharp, you see.
All right. Most give it up to Commander General Harmer, give it up to the Isupk, give it up to the Most High in Christ, man, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, brothers in here are alive. Nobody got no, you know, DUI ticket because we don't celebrate that nonsense of the New Year's. And because we're men of the Lord and we follow orders, and the orders from the Most High is not to celebrate that wicked holiday, man. I feel great to be doing the work of the Lord, because that's what is going to earn us the kingdom of heaven, man. And right now, what we're doing is we're practicing the righteous acts. The righteous acts, which is the things that we will be doing as a nation when we rule the earth. When December 31st ain't Christmas Eve, when we don't celebrate a beginning of a New Year's or the beginning of a cycle of time that we read in the middle of winter. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the where we left off last time. I think it was the book of Numbers. You remember?
1 and 16.
1 and 16. All right, we'll go ahead and read, brother. Go ahead and get that one. Yeah. Here, give me that one. Go ahead, brother. No, the reader.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 16. Allah ya ayah.
Let's step off for a second. Go ahead. Back here, read.
Ha'ida. Nasha ya ayah. Matawaf. Abba thumb. Ra'asha. Alapya. Yasha'Allah. Ham. Numbers chapter 1, verse 17. Waya Masha. Haran. Ha'anashim. Ha'Allah. Ashar. Nakwabawa. Bashamawaf. Verse 18. Wa'af. Ka. Ha'ida. Hakwa ha ya lawa. Ba'akad. Laka dash. Hashinawa. Hashanya. Waya Dial Ladwa. Mashapatham. Labayath. Abatham. Bamasapar. Shemawath. Maban. Aisharya. Shana, Wama Allah, Laga Lagal, verse 19. Ka'ashar Tazawa Yahweh Mashah Waya Pop Dum Waya Pop Dum Bama Dabar Sayanya, verse 20. Waya Hayawa Waya Hayawa Bunya Ra'awab Yun Ra'awabun Ra'ab Bakar Yasha'ala Dawaladyum Dawaladathim Dawalatham Lama Shapatham
Lamashapak thumb. Lamashapak. That's a car.
Lama Shapatham
Mm-hmm.
Laba Yath Salar Abatham Bama Sapar Shamawath Lagaltham Kal Zakar Mabun Aisharyam Shana Wama Ilah Kal Yataza'ah Tazaba'ah, verse 21. Pakwadaya Pakwadyaham Lamata Ra'awabawa Shasha Wa'arab Ayam Allah Wa'kamash Ma'awa, verse 22. Lavonia Shema Awon
Tawaladum, Lamashaphatum, Labaya, Abathim, Aquad Yuel, Bamasapar, Shamawa, Lagalagatham, Kal, Zakar, Maban, Aisharyam, Shana, Wama Ila, Kal, Yataza'a, Tazaba. Verse 23.
Now then, verse 23. And then 22. Go ahead and take it from the English. Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 16. These were the renown of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel.
Now that goes to show you that in Israel and how the Lord commanded Moses to run this, this nation. It's like an army, and it's a kingdom, with the Most High being the king and Christ being the king, of Israel. And an army is rank and order and families, and that's how we identify ourselves in Israel, by the children of the fathers. Read it again. Read that scripture again.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 16. These were the renown of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers.
And this is the princes, the renown, the great men. These are the princes, the meanings, the heirs to the throne of their fathers. Go ahead.
Heads of thousands in Israel.
Heads of what?
Thousands.
Heads of thousands, man. This is a military, man. The children of Israel. That's what the Lord said. He's the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts, the Lord of an army, exceeding army. Read on.
Verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which are expressed by their names. Verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families.
Their what?
Their pedigrees.
Their what?
Their pedigrees.
Their pedigrees, man. You had to identify it. That's what we do when we come up here and present ourselves for the Sabbath service. The brother presents his pedigree, meaning what his lineage is. His pedigree is his lineage. The people that breed dogs or breed any type of horses or anything, that a certain pedigree costs more. You identify that animal or that breed by the pedigree, the lineage. And that's what in Israel we presented ourselves. We presented our pedigree. Lahab ban Yashakar ban Yasha'ala, meaning Lahab, son of Issachar, son of Israel. That's how you present yourself. That's how they presented themselves. Our forefathers presented themselves before Moses. Read on. By the who? By the house of who?
Declared their pedigrees after their families. By the house of their fathers.
The house of their fathers, man. The lineage is determined in who your father is. And who your father is, that's who you are. Not who your mother is. That's who your father is. Read on.
According to the number of the names.
Read on.
From 20 years old and upward, by their polls. Verse 19. As the Most High commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. Verse 20. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son.
Reuben is the eldest, the firstborn. Read on.
By their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war.
To go forth to what?
To war.
To what?
To war.
To war. So Moses specifically chose men that were ripe for war. It's like, listen, you old enough to go to war. This is how you gonna, now you start, presenting yourself by the house of your father, ripe for war. Read on.
Verse 21. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,000.
How much?
46,000.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of military just in the tribe of Reuben. Imagine the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians came together, recognized we were the children of Israel, how the Lord wants, and we start presenting ourselves and identifying ourselves as an army. We don't have to fight no wars. We don't have to pick up no weapons. Like, we don't have to be a militia. We just have to be united like an army, structured like an army, conduct ourselves like an army. 40, how many thousand?
46,000.
46,000 for one tribe. That's a lot of people. We have more now in America. Blacks and Hispanic, Native American Indians is way more than that in the whole entire earth. We are numbered. Like, the Lord told Moses that his children, that his descendancy, and not Moses, but Abraham, that you wouldn't be able to count the children of Israel. There'd be more than the stars of heaven. You couldn't count us. Like, now, that's why the oppressor does that census, the so-called census. They come around and black, Hispanic. I know Hispanic. We don't fill that out. We're like, hell no, I don't fill no census out. And the ones that do probably only themselves. That brother or sister might have 6, 7 children, because we're a large and exceeding army, man. We're innumerable, and this is the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers, man. That's why this is going to go into the details about the amounts of the children of Israel and so on and so forth in this book. Go ahead.
Were 46,500. Verse 22. Of the children of Simeon, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, those that were numbered of them, according to the number of the names, by their homes, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war.
All right, that's the end of verse 22. Pick up another 7 verses.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 23 in the Hebrew. Hakwad Yaham Lamata'a
Shammai 1. That means Simeon.
Okay. Sasha I. Wakam Waka Mashim. Allah. Washalash. Ma'awath. Verse 24. Labanya. God. Tawalatham.
Yeah, Tawalatham. Yeah, I might ask about that one, but go ahead. Tawalatham, that's fine.
Lama Lamash Pathum,
Mm-hmm.
Labayath,
Mm-hmm.
Abathum,
Mm-hmm.
Bamasapar,
Mm-hmm.
Shemawath, Maban, Aisharyam, Shana,
Mm-hmm.
Wama Ailah, Kal, Yataza'ah, Tazaba'ah, verse 25. Paquad Yaham,
Mm-hmm.
Lama Ta'ah,
Mm-hmm.
God,
God.
Kamasha, Arab, but Salaki,
Wa'arabayim. Yeah.
Allah,
Mm-hmm.
Washash,
Mm-hmm.
Ma'awaf,
Mm-hmm.
Wakamashim,
Mm-hmm.
verse 26. Labanya,
Right.
Yahawada,
Mm-hmm. Yahawada.
Zawa Ladtham,
Mm-hmm.
Lamash Paktham, Labayath, Abatham, Bamasapar, Shemath, Maban, Asharyam, Shana, Wama'ala, Kal, Yataza'ah, Tazaba'ah, verse 27. Paquad Yaham, Lama Ta'ah, Yahawada,
Mm-hmm.
Araba'ai,
Mm-hmm.
Washabayam,
Mm-hmm.
Allah,
Mm-hmm.
Washash,
Mm-hmm.
Ma'awath,
Mm-hmm.
verse 28. Labanya, Yashikar,
Mm-hmm.
Thawa Ladtham, Lamash, Lama Shak, Lamash Paktham,
Mm-hmm.
Labayath, Abatham,
Mm-hmm.
Bamasapar,
Mm-hmm.
Shemath,
Right.
Maban, Aisharyam, Shana, Wama'ala, Kal, Yataza'ah,
Mm-hmm.
Tazaba'ah,
Right.
29. Paquad Yaham, Lamata, Yashikar, Arabai,
Mm-hmm.
Wakamashyam,
Mm-hmm.
Allah, Rabbi, Ma'awath.
Isaiah verse 29.
Okay.
I'll pick it up from the English.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 23. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300.
How much?
59,300.
And Simeonites is a lot of soldiers too. Listen, Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, boy, can you imagine gathering in today's world, not even to start no war like them, like the militias or like the skinheads or like them, any of that. But just imagine gathering your soldiers from the tribe of Simeon. The Simeonites is some hardcore brothers in the world. Can you imagine gathering them what is it, the Manasseh brothers? Like, what was the one we read before this one? It was Simeon and it was Reuben, the Seminole Indians. Them Seminole Indians, man, down in Florida. Them some strong brothers, man. You imagine gathering 50,000 just now. Another 50,000 of the tribe of Simeon. And another some thousand of the Judites. All them brothers from the NBA league, all them brothers that be doing backflips when they jumping and dunk the ball. Those brothers on the basketball courts and the football field are supposed to be your soldiers. Are supposed to be the ones that go to war for you. Like, instead of playing ball and being servants, they're supposed to be feared. Imagine doing. Most of our soldiers are also where? Where else are they at? Anybody know? In prison. In prison, man. Keep reading.
Verse 24. Of the children of Gad, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers.
And shoot, let's not even talk about the Gadites. Them Gadites were deadly. Them Gadites, man, the oppressor feared Gad, man. The oppressor had to get smart. He had to outthink Gad. And he had to use, and of course the Most High wasn't with Gad anymore because our brothers the Gadites started worshiping the rivers and the moon and the wolves. That's why when I see them, I love my brother the Gadites and we want them to come back to their power. But when they start talking about, the wolf spirit and the river spirit, and they lost their power. That's why the oppressor was able to outthink them, to outsmart them, because his power, which is the Most High, was no longer with him. He was able to trick them into. He used. Them Gadites were deadly warriors, but they was also compassionate. They also had a heart, because that's what we're the children of Israel. And they have mercy. And that's what the old oppressor used against them. And Gadites, man, they were deadly with that bow and arrow, Baaz. Deadly, them Comanches, deadly with them horses. They used to ride a horse and shoot an arrow at the same time while hanging on the side of the horse, with no saddle. The oppressor had to make the saddles for the horses. Listen, them Gadites didn't need no saddle. They could just lean on the side of the horse. That's why the Mustangs, they were slim. You can't do that with one of them thick, wide horses, but you had to have them slim, fast horses, man. They used to hang on the side of them and shoot the arrows by. That's what they say. They said, hey, the Comanche was deadly. And then when they killed you, they scalped you. But once again, man, like, don't get simple. We're not trying to tell our brothers and sisters to go back to try to fight the oppressor physically this time. We need to come together as an army, just like this book of Numbers, and serve the Lord wholeheartedly, just like we did when we gathered in Egypt. And then the Lord will fight for us. Then the Most High will fight for us. We don't need to, know how to shoot an arrow no more from the side of the horse. That's a great thing to do. we'll be able to do that again. But even them brothers in the NBA, they don't need to be playing basketball and football. They need to be over here for protection, and then the Lord will fight for us. Read on.
According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 25, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650.
Wow.
Verse 26, of the children of Judah, by their generations after their families.
And these are just the men that can go to war. This is just the soldiers. They ain't even talking about the elders and the people that can build houses and farm and have other skills. We already kind of 150,000, like 200,000 already. Yeah, these are just soldiers. This is just an army. These ain't brothers. These ain't the women, the children. The other craftsmen, like the other brothers that are skilled in things. The the writers, all of that. This is a whole nation that the Lord brought out of Egypt, man, and set them up in their land. We always been a great number of people, man. We've been in every captivity and every kingdom that has existed on this planet, destroyed after we disobeyed the Lord, and we're still here. We still ain't disappeared, Bob. It's still a lot of us. We don't.
Of the children of Judah by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 27, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Judah, were 314,600.
60. What's that?
60.
That's 60.
74,000.
And Judite brothers is a lot. Man, imagine a bunch of them Judite brothers out there, boy. Good night. I don't even want to imagine that. A whole army of righteous Judites, man. So-called Negroes, man. But imagine the army of LeBrons and KDs and I don't know about KD. LeBron and who's that brother that played for? Hey, who's that brother that played for the Titans?
Derrick Henry.
Nah, that Johnson cat for the Titans. He played for the Titans. AJ, something like that. Man, that brother right there. Yeah, man, that brother right there. Imagine, I can't imagine a brother like him out there. I ain't really say no. That Johnson cat boy, Salaka, he was catching them. Hey, what I'm saying is, imagine pretty much the whole NFL. Instead of them catching the ball, throwing the ball, just being protectors for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, being warriors for them, man. That's why the oppressor must keep you playing football and basketball. He must. He make it possible where there's a league for you to come out of your oppression. Because you haven't found your power. We haven't found our power. We don't know that we're supposed to serve our brothers and sisters. So he said, man, you got to get out the ghetto. You got to get out the ghetto. Make it out the ghetto. How you do it? Listen, either you're going to go to, sell rock, or be a rapper. If you don't do that, then the only thing you got is to play ball. But you're not supposed to be no leader of your people. You're just supposed to play ball. We'll give you a few, chump change. $1 million contract. I mean, of course, to us, that's a lot of money. We never had it, but to the oppressor, that's nothing. I mean, you're going to give it back anyway. Right. And then when you break your leg and you're no longer any good, we'll just get rid of you. We'll get another one. Imagine all that for NFL, the NBA, the soccer league, all the boxers, all the Mayweathers and Chavez and Camachos and Javante, even all of them, man. That's supposed to be the Lord's army, man. The Lord's protectors, the people, the Israel's protectors, man. Read on.
Verse 28, of the children of Isupk, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 29, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 54,400.
And that's not even talking about the so-called Mexicans. Look, they might not be that tall, but hey, them some warriors too. You know, they were men of war. Always been like that, man. That's really how you in today's society. That's really how you really almost the spirit of God's people is like that, man. When the other nations talk about us, it's like, man, don't go in that ghetto, man, because they're scared of them Judites, man, the so-called Negroes. It's fear, even though they rule the earth, or the Hispanics, man, and the Mexicans, they'll kill you, they'll rob. I mean, of course, we don't have the spirit of the Lord, but that they really kind of fears by us. He out of war. But if they fear us for the wrong reasons. If we had the spirit of the Most High, this whole earth would tremble because they know that the Lord will be with us then. Read on. Kiara will pick it up the next 14 verses. Third.
Come across the book of Numbers, chapter 1, and verse 30. Labundia. Zabba Walam. Zabba Tha Wala the Thumb. Tha Wala Lamash Pakathon. Labaya Abathon. Baba Sapor. Shema, Mabun, Aishaya, Shana, Wama Ila, Kad, Tazaba'a, verse 31. Pourquoi Yahon, Lamata, Zaba, Wala, Zabalon, Shaba'ai, Wakamashi, Allah, Wa'a, Rabbi, Ma'awa, verse 32. Labundi, Yawasak, Labundi, a party, Tawala, La Mashak Kathon, Lavaya, Abathon, Wamasapar, Shema, Mabun, Aishaya, Shana, Wama Ila, Kad, Tazaba'a, verse 33. Pourquoi Yahon, Lamata, a party, Araba Ayom, Allah, Wakamar, Ma'awa, verse 34, Labunda, Manasha, Labaya, Abathon, Bamasapar, Shamawa, Mabun, Aishayom, Shana, Wama Ila, Kad, Tazaba'a, verse 35. Pourquoi Yohan, Lamata, Manasha, Shanayon, Washa, Washalash Yom, Allah, Wama'af Yom, Wama'af Yom, verse 36, Labunda. Is that Bunyumbu?
Come.
Bunyumbu. Tawa La Mashakathon, La Baya, Abathon, Bamasapar, Shema, Mabun, Aishar, Shana, Bama Ayla, Kab, the Taza'a, that's the end of verse 36.
All right. In the English.
Me and him.
Hmm?
Me and him.
You.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 30. Of the children of Zebulun, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 31, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. Verse 32, of the children of Joseph, namely, of the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 33, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Verse 34, of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 35, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Verse 36, of the children of Benjamin, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war.
At the end of verse. That's the last 7 verses. That was all right. I'll read up, pick up the other 7 verses. Kiyata War, Baba Bishar.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 37. Pourquoi Yahon, Lamata, Bunyumbu, Kamasha, Washalashim, Allah, Wa'al Ma'awa, verse 38. Labunda, Dan, Tawalaton, Lamashakaton, Labaya, Abaton, Bamasapar, Shema, Mabun, Aishar, Shana, Wama Ayla, Kab, the Tazaba'a, verse 39. Pourquoi Yahon, Lamata, Dan, Shanayon, what Shashyam, Allah, Washabah, Ma'awa, verse 40, Labunda, Ashar, Tawalaton, Lamashak, Katon, Labaya, Abaton, Bamasapar, Shema, Mabun, Aishar, Shana, Wama Ayla, Kab, the Tazaba'a, verse 41. Paquad Yahom, Lamata, Ashar, Akad, Wa'al, Rabayim, Allah, Wahamah, Ma'awah, verse 42, Bunyan, Napathalu, Tha Walatham, Lamashakatham, Labayat, Abathon, Bamasapal, Shema, Mabon, Aishari, Shana, Wama Ailah, Kab, Yataza'ah, Tazaba'ah, verse 43. Paquad Yahom, Lamata, Napathalu, Shalashah, Wakamashim, Allah, Wa'ah Rabah, Ma'awah. That's the end of verse 43.
It's you started at 38?
37.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Miles. Take it for us from the English, Baba Shaw.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 37. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400.
Right.
Verse 38, of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 39,
To go to war. Once again, these are pure soldiers, capable men of war. And the Danites, once again, the Danites used to be a tribe in Israel. They're no longer a tribe in Israel. They're a family within the tribe of Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. They're a family within the tribe of Manasseh, the Manassites, which are the so-called Cubans today. Go ahead.
Verse 39, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 62,700. Verse 40, of the children of Asher, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 41, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Verse 42, of the children of Naphtali, throughout their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Verse 43, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400.
So we didn't almost name what? That's how many tribes already? That's Reuben, Simeon, Judah, Yasha, Issachar, Benjamin, Gad, Ephraim. That's already 7 times. Dan, average of 50,000 men. You know, it's almost what, 500,000 almost. What was that? It's a lot of souls. It's an army, man, gathered together. You know, the only way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians can gather together is in the form of an army. It's in the form of a military. And that's what the Israelite School UPK is, under Commander General Yohanan. We are the Lord's army here on earth. And once again, we're not an army that picks up weapons to fight our oppressor. Now, we are an army that trains for war, though. That don't, better believe we train for war, but that's just for our protection. We don't condone violence. We don't go out here planning terrorist attacks or none of that. But we are an army, and we gather together as an army because that's the only way you can get structured to organize and give commands and have some type of rulership. But now we gather together to practice the righteous acts, to not celebrate. Listen, you know the order. If you're in the Israelite School UPK, when everybody else is celebrating, the holidays, what's the order for us? What's the order for us? Just, hey, we don't
Celebrate that.
don't celebrate that. Like we're like that's how everybody's in the same spirit, not to keep all precious holidays, not to get involved with all precious way of life. And then we come and do the things to serve the Lord, to serve the Most High. We don't. Is that that's the end of verse 37, right?
43.
43. Well, let me help y'all out. I'm gonna pick it up. The next 43 to what? 50, okay.
49.
41? 49.
44.
I'm doing 44 to 40 what? 49? 50, all right. The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 44. Allah Hapaquad Yum Ashar Paquad Mashah Wa Aharan Wanashaya Wanashash Wanasha Salakia Wanasha Yaaya Wanashash Yaaya Yashara'al Salakia Yasha'ala. Good night, brother. I don't know why I got that one messed up. Salakia. Hey, listen, when you don't read the Hebrew for a few days, it kind of got, you kind of got to pick it up again. You got to keep practicing this Hebrew, boy. You get rusty. Salakia. Shanayam, Aishar, Ayash, Akkad, Labayath, Abathyawa, Hayawa, verse 45. Wayahayawa, Ka, Pakwawadya, Banya, Yasha'ala, and not make that mistake again. Yasha'ala, Labayath, Abatham, Maban, all right. Aisha Rayam, Shana, Wama'aila, Ka, Yataza'a, Tazaba'a, Bayasha'ala, verse 46. Wayahayawa, Ka, Hapaquadyam, Shisha, Ma'awath, Alab, Washala Shath, Alapayam. Is that a how or is that a ka? Huh? Alapium, no, not that one, the next one. Wa, is that a how after the wa? That's a how or ka? That's a ka. Wa kamash ma'awath wa kamashim, verse 47. Wahalawayam lamata'a abatham la'a hathapakwadya bathawakam, verse 48. Wayadabar Yahweh Mashah La'amar, verse 40. So lucky that was verse 48. Verse 49. Akah Mata'a Lawaya, La'a, Tapaquad, Wa'ath, Ra'asham, La'a, Thasha'ah, Bathawak, Banya, Yasha'ala. That's the end of verse 49. Well, we got to read 50, right? All right. Wa'atha, Hapaquad, Ath, Halawayam, Al, Mashakan, Ha'idath, Wa'al, Kal, Kalayawa, Wa'al, Ka, Ashar, Lawa, Hama'a, Yasha'awa, Ath, Hamashakan, Wa'ath, Kal, Kalayawa, Waham, Yasharath, Hawa, Wasabayab, Lamashakan, Yakanawa. That's the end of verse 50. Pick it up in the English, Baba Bashar.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 44. These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers. Verse 45. Serve all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. Verse 46. Even all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. Verse 47. But the Levites after the tribe of their fathers were not numbered among them. Verse 48. For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying, verse 49. Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel.
Why is that? The Lord said everybody else go to war, everybody else eligible to, the princes, or Salakia, the men able to go to war, we number them, but not the children of Levi. Go ahead.
Because the Levites were the Lord's portion.
Right, the Levites are the Lord's portion. The priests don't go to war. The priests, the Levi priests didn't go to war. The priests now, we kings, warriors, and all of that. But the priest could kill you though. But the priests didn't, because they served. Go ahead.
Yeah, they had to do all of the work.
They had to do the priesthood. They took care of the priesthood. They did what a priest does. So the Lord said, don't number them. Don't number them. Those are his portion. Go ahead.
Verse 50. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof.
Over the tabernacle. And once again, this is at a time where they were still in the wilderness. These are people in the wilderness. Our forefathers are in the wilderness, and so they got to keep moving. So they got to be in charge of the tabernacle. The Levites are in charge of the priesthood at that time, so that's their charge. Read on.
And over all things that belong to it, they shall bear the tabernacle and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it.
They shall what?
Minister.
They shall serve unto it. Go ahead.
And shall encamp round about the tabernacle.
Now they protect. When the warriors are fighting, they protect too. Now they can fight. Now, the Levites can fight now. The Levites are good with the machetes. It's a lock here. The Levites can fight. They can fight. They're not going to go to war because they got to do the service of the Most High. They got to protect the tabernacle, the things in the tabernacle, all of that. Is that the end of verse 50 in English? All right, let me pick it up in verse 51 or 57? So lucky. The book of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 51. It'll be 51 to 52 to number 3, right?
Verse
Verse 2 or verse 3?
Verse 3.
All right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 51. Waban Sa'ai. Waban Sa'ai. Hamashakan. Yawarayadwa. Athawa. Halawayam. Wabakanatha. Hamashakan. Yakwayamwa. Athawa. Halawayam. Wahazar. Hakwarab. Yawamath. Wakanawa. Banya. Yasha'ala. Ayash. Al. Makanhawa. Wa Ayash. Al. Dagalawa. The Galawa. Latazaba'atham. Verse 53. Wahawayam. Yakanawa. Sabayab. Lamashakan. Ha'aidath. Lawa'ah. Wala'ah. Yahaya. Quatazab. Aidath. Banya. Yasha'ala. Washamrawa. Halawayam. Ath. Mashamarath. Mashakan. Ha'aidawath. Verse 54. Waya'ai Shawa. Kanya. Yasha'ala. Kakao. Ashar. Tazawa'a. Yahweh. Ath. Mashah. Khan. Aishawa. The book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, the book of Numbers. We read Leviticus so much. I'm used to saying Leviticus. The book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 1. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Wa'al, Aharon, La'amar, verse 2. Ayash, Al, the Galwa, Ba'athaf, Labayath, Abatham, Yakanawa, Banya, Yasha'ala, Managad, Sabayab, La'ahala, Mawa'id, Yahanawa, verse 3. Wahakanyam, Kwadama, Mazaraka, Daga, Makana, Yahawada, Salakia, Yahawada, Latazaba'atham, Wanashaya, Labanya, Yahawada, Nakashawan, Ban, Aymayanadab, Aymayandab. believe that's it. There's the end of verse 3. Pick it up for the English, Baba Kashaw.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, and verse 51. And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
And the what?
The stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
Meaning only the priest could take care of the tabernacle duties. Anybody else would die if you wasn't a Levite priest. That was just the order. That's how the Lord wanted it, and the order was supposed to be followed. Read on.
Verse 52. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their hosts. Verse 53. For the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony.
And the spirit behind all of that is following orders.
Right.
That's how the orders are given. The orders are given down. That's how they're supposed to be done. To follow it. Because if not, it can cost you your life. Read on.
Verse 54. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did they. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 2, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard, with the inside of their father's house. Far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch.
With the inside, like a flag. So even we all have flag, like the oppressor gets all this flag, the other nations get the flag thing from Israel. We're the ones that came up with that flag thing. That's an insight. Insight basically letting you know who you are. So even within the nation, we had to identify who the children of Israel were. Like that's a Judite, that's a Levite, that's the family of Levites, family of Issacharites, and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And on the east side towards the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. And Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be captain of the children of Judah.
Shall be who?
Captain.
What you think? Like, what y'all think that we do here in the ISUPK, man? We're going back to how the Lord wanted us to be. He set up captains, officers, so on and so forth, just like a military. Read on. Is that it? I pick it up. What was it? One more verse, right? That was 2, 4, 6.
3, 2, 2.
You did 2.
I did 3.
You did 3? Did he do 3 Kiana 1? I think he did 2. No, you did 2.
Okay, my fault. Oh.
Go ahead. 1 more, 7 more verses, and we'll be finishing up.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 2, and verse 4. Watazaba awa wapa quad yaham arabai washab bayam Allah washash ma'awa. Verse 5. Wahad Kanyam Alo Ila Yawa Mata Yashikar Wanash Ya'a Labanya Yashikar Nathan Allah. Nathan Allah. Nathan Nathan Allah. Bun. Taza wa I Ra. Verse 6. Wataza ba'awa. Wa paquad yawa. Araba'a. Arabaya. Arabai. Wakamashim. Allah. Wa Rabai. Ma'awath. Verse 7. Mata. Waba. Zaba. Walan. Zabalawan. Wabash. Ya'a. Labunya. Zabawalan.
Sabawalam. Sabawalam.
Zabawalan.
So it's like it's Sabalawan, right?
It's Zabawalan right here.
Which one is it? Verse 7.
Zabawalan.
Mm-hmm.
Zabawalan. Al-Ya'ab. Bun. Kalawa. Kalan. Verse 8. Was a Ba'awa. Wapakad Yawa. Shaba'ai. Wa Kamashim. Allah. Wa Arabai. Ma'awath. Verse 9. Kal. Hapaquadium. Lama Kana. Yahawada. Ma'ath. Allah. Washem. Washamai one him. Washamanyam. Allah. Washisha. Alatyam. Wa'a Rabbi. Ma'awath. Watazaba'atham. La'ashana.
Ra'a.
Salaki.
You got a lot?
Ra'a Shana. Yasa Iwa. In verse 10. The Gaul. Makana. Ra'a Waban. The Mana. Lataza Thumb. Wanash Ya'a. Labunya. Ra'a Waban. Allah Yataza Wa. Allah Yataza War. Bun. Shada Ya War.
Shad Ya'awar.
Shad Ya War. That's the end of verse 2.
All right. Pick it up from the English.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 2, and verse 4. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 314,600. Verse 5. And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Isupk. And Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, shall be captain of the children of Issachar. Verse 6. And his hosts, and those that were numbered thereof, were 54,400. Verse 7. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. Verse 8. And his hosts, and those that were numbered thereof, were 57,400. Verse 9. All that were numbered in the camp of Judah were 100,000 and 600 and 6,400 throughout their armies. These shall first set forth. Verse 10. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to their armies. And the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elazar, the son of Shedeur.
And then, like, once again, this is just how the children of Israel had to organize to go to war. We were all, we was in the wilderness. So we was, as a nation, we're not in the land. The wilderness is where we're at. So we had to have an army like that and organize that way. Well, here in this kingdom, this isn't our land either. And we had to come back together as a people and let the UPK be the ruling body that starts telling Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, follow the leadership of Commander General Yohana under Christ, under the Most High, because we're not going to lead you to your death. On the contrary, man, we're going to teach you about these laws, statutes, and commandments, and about serving the Most High, so that we can go ahead and look at the times we're in. Look at the times we're in. Things are going to get crazier this year. People, I don't even know why y'all sought to celebrate a filthy, heathen holiday, but let the heathen celebrate that. What are you so happy about? Like, you don't understand that it wasn't nothing to be happy about. Or, you think it's going to get better? It's not going to get better in the so-called 2022. It's going to be worse. Kiana War, my eyes. Like, look, it was a spike in the coronavirus. You know how many people, look, it's going to be more cases of that. My eyes, go ahead.
You see, yesterday they broke a record.
Broke a record.
2 million
cases. Good, nice.
Cases.
It was like how many just in North Carolina alone?
I don't know.
It was too many. Too many. And then y'all wanted to go out and be around among us. Look, man. Go ahead.
You see that fire in Colorado?
Good night.
With hurricane force winds pushing it, burning up whole community.
I seen that. Look, man, it's no peace on earth right now. Ain't no peace on earth. Until a black man by the name of Yahushua, who you ignorantly know as Jesus Christ, comes back, and then we start ruling this place, then there'll be peace. But right now, ain't no peace. Right now, it's all chaos. Because of what the oppressor did to the children of Israel. Because, when you did find a vaccine for the COVID, you gave it to you chose who to give it to first. Because you killed Black Hispanics, when you pulled them over by white racist police. We didn't forget about that. The Lord didn't forget about that. You think we forgot about what's the Sandra Bland and all of that? Kiana War. The Lord ain't forget about that, man. The Lord still ain't forgot about the Trail of Tears. The Lord still ain't forgot about the transatlantic slave trade. But that's fresh news to the Most High. You know, that's why these things are happening. That's why these things are happening and are going to keep happening until Christ comes back, man. With that, pass it over to, go ahead.
Martin.
Should get the I mean, we should get hold on. Get it right. All right.
And the virtue of gird our loins and prepare to salute the Torah.
Just stay right in the middle. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Baraka Yah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Yah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Baraka Yah.
And walk on Yah Hakadon, between turn face east, we'll say the Lord's Prayer, and he Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayam, Shemka, Yahweh, Malachuka, Baal, Zaka, Hayam, Aisha, Baharatiza, Kawan, Hayam, Bashamayim, Thalanawa, Makam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalat, Kawawak, Kasalat, Walatina, Walaha, Mayana, Manasayawan, Abal, Shana, Mayan, Rai, Hayat, Makam, Amalabu, Wahala, Wakapara, Wawalamya, Amman in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hashem Yahshua, Baba Kushah, Athalana, Akat, Akat, Arapa'ah, Ka Makala, Ka Marwa, Akat, Ratahah, Hamatazarayim, Akat, Lahakuyam, Hamathiam, Akat, Atama'ala, Nagarashan, Bahashim Yahshua, the one in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you. So be it.
Pray for the blessing. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh
Wa Mayaka'ala.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Tazab Yahweh.
Matazaba Yahweh.
Alawab Yahweh.
Alawab Yahweh. Alawapim. Kasaranyam. Akwatasayanyam. Akoyoyoyam. Wahakwathyam. Yahweh. Hashem Yahshua. The one in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahari, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Izari, Ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Waratazam, Ayathon, Alawat, Wagalka, Ayanawam, Shamar, Analaha, Yanawam, Walaha, Yayasha, Omar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yah, Yamika, Yawamam, Hashamash, Laha, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makalra, Yashamar, Atapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Rabawa'aka, Ma'aita, I will love. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in the heat. Allahayom.
Allahayam,
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damalika,
Al-Dakarash.
Al-Dakarash,
Al-Dashakwat.
Al-Dashakwat,
Al-Kayahana.
Al-Kayahada, Al-Yadika, Yahba, Yawab, Ra'ash, Al-Aibaka, Yawayama, Sawada, Wayatha, Aitazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amawa, Akawa, Wanakakita, Galia, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, Lama, Yakat, Alia, Ariah, Yakarafa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashaban, Alayam, Awa'aba, Wahagari, Wabal, Wayamawan, Wayamala, Alashah, Yashabi, Tazawar, Yamashabu, Nalawa, Imam, Ayawa, Sarawak, Abanyalawa, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadia, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabia, Wanakal, Wayashwan, Yashamakwa, Ahayad, Yara, Ayawa, Iman, La'adam, Shayatham, Dada, Yadmawa, Kayara, Wakaza Abba, Wakazaba, Wakazazal, Mana'ai, Kana Sayakawa, Shaw, Amawi, Ayrisha, Anawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahayam, Shayathamu, Wagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rabaka, Arash, Ira, Ira, Wakala Haba, Talahat, Arayam, Khan, Tamadama, Basa Ira, Wabasa,
Bahalom,
Tabahalom, Wala'a, Panyahom, Walawan, Waya, Wakashka, Shamka, Yahweh, Wabash, Waya, Wahaw, Ajai, Waya, Apal, Waya, Badu, Waya, Daiwa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahweh, Wabaka, Ayawa, Makaharat in English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, and hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
So like hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still,
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make a tumble,
thy enemies make a tumble.
and they that hate thee
They that hate thee,
and lifted up the head.
lift up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken credit counsel
against thy people
against thy people.
and consulted against
Something against
thy hidden one.
thy hidden one.
They have
They
said,
have said,
come
come,
and let them cut, and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a
from
nation,
being a nation.
that the name of
In the
Yasharallah
name of Yahshua,
may be no more in
there
remembrance.
be no more remembrance.
For they had consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee.
confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacle of Egypt,
and the Ishmaelites
the Israelites,
of Moab
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal
Baal,
and Ammon
Ammon,
and Amalek,
Amalek,
the Philistines
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre,
Assur
Sur,
also
also
is joined with them.
joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
to Japan,
at the brook Kisan,
Saul,
which perished at Endor.
perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They came to with Europe.
Make their nobles
Make their noble
like a red
like a red,
and like Zehed.
like the head,
Yea,
yea,
all their princes,
all the princes,
as Abba
as a Bob,
and as
and
Almuna,
as the moon,
who said,
said,
let us take to
let
ourselves
us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
Oh, my power,
make them like a wheel,
make me like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as stoked before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burns wood,
and as the flame
as the flame
setteth the mountains on fire.
the mountains of fire.
So persecute them
Persecute them
with thy
with
tempest,
thy tempest,
make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy
with
storm,
thy storm,
fill their faces with
fill
shame,
the faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
and
name,
they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh,
Let them be
let
confounded
them be profound,
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame,
and perish,
perish,
that men may know
that they know
that thou,
that God,
whose name
whose
alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
all the most high,
over all the earth.
all the earth. Psalm which means return. Men of Israel, give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Amad, Rock, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Rakhtah,
Yahweh Shira Shabakatam,
Yahweh Matah, class is mid.
Most High in Christ. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shira Shabakatam, Yahweh Shemal Tama Shira Shah. Tune in Monday through Fridays. You know, Isupk online classes, 7 to 9 p.m. Hey, Sabbath service every Saturday, man. Shalom.